guys, welcome to LG Overdrive. This is Season 4, Episode 3. I am your host, Kingsman42. With me today, I have UT75.
How's it going, everyone?
Also with us today, we have the GM of the Rockford Ice Hogs. We have Air Raiders.
What's up, guys?
And last but not least, we have the Arizona Coyotes backup goalie, LG's favorite drunk, Darcy Kemper.
What's up, boys?
Alright, so it's nice to have a couple of guest stars on with us today. We don't have Dudley or Risto yet. Risto is going to be on starting next week. He's just finishing up his hockey. Dudley will be doing another pre-recording and joining us later on in the show. But to start it off, we do have AIDS with Risto. He did send it to me again this week. This week, AIDS with Risto is talking about how many trades Texas has put in so far this season. This season, since it started just at the middle of February, they have done 40 trades. In the last week alone, they've done 16 trades. So that shows that they're either flipping their team or they're reassembling their team constantly, and they're still close to last place in their division. They're currently sitting 7th in the Pacific with 20 points, and they're 1 point ahead of Bakersfield. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's obviously not working. So maybe try and roll with the same lines for a couple weeks here. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. And I don't know how they're getting trades done, because apparently Bolts talks to you and he's not allowed. And then Karuch is like, no, don't talk to my AGMs, even though their AGMs are constantly messaging people about trades. So I don't know how they get anything done over there, but something's got to. Maybe they should try and get some chemistry and consistency.
Right. Because you get players like Duclair, and you have him for a week and then trade him away. It doesn't make sense when you get good players like that and not try to find lines for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen what the trades are, if they're TC or just kind of small trades, but sometimes you just gotta hold on to guys and hope that they do better.
Right.
Looking at recent stats of what they may be, I mean, they might just be having a bad week or something. Don't pull the trigger on that.
At this point, it's come to where I don't even have the time to make sense of the trade. There's already another trade that pops up, and it's I don't know if they're just doing a trade to flip another guy, or if they're keeping them, or if they're grabbing TC guys, or if they're grabbing more roster guys and flipping. There's so much flipping.
I know they're constantly getting someone in for 1 week and then moving, and it's like they expect everyone that comes in there to carry them, and then when they don't, it's see you later.
Well, it is Karuch, so you gotta get the fact that the guy isn't the brightest.
That man is the worst person to trade with, I'll tell you.
Their savior for Texas is there. Dan Hutton was just recently traded to him, so the savior for Texas is coming.
You mean Dan Hutton, who was traded to them, and rumors are he already wants out?
Yep.
Oh yeah, he got traded there, and he publicly posted immediately as the trade went through. He says, "Trade me. I don't want to play on Texas."
He's probably orchestrating it as we talk right now. Since it's right now, it's the weekend for the
Let's be honest. It is Karuch. He takes a long time to get trades, but Dan Hutton is probably whispering in his ear, trying to orchestrate his own trade.
Whispering sweet nothing to greener pastures.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our next thing. I just wanted to give out a shout out to another AHLer, goaltender for San Diego, the Greach. He just posted an article on UT himself, actually, another goaltender article. Looks like he'll be doing a newspaper type article with goalies around the AHL. So if you do have interest in being talked to and interviewed for that, go see the Greach. He should be posting several of them throughout the season. So I know he's looking for some goalies to talk to.
I vote Darcy next, but Darcy has to be hammered when he does the interview.
Yo, I'm totally down. Yo, tomorrow I'll get blacked out, and then he can interview me and then replace all the terrible things I say with good things.
So he had to edit me out too. So he had to edit everything that was all messed up.
It's okay, Darcy. So on a scale of from blackout to AHL roast blackout, how blackout will you be tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Well, I'm heading back to Minnesota with the boys, so probably pretty blacked out. I'd say not AHL roast, but definitely half of that.
If anything after that, I feel bad for Greach trying to make sense of whatever you're going to say tomorrow. All right. So now I'm gonna actually ask Air Raiders a couple questions here. Obviously, you're the GM of Rockford. How do you feel being management in the AHL again?
Actually, it's my first time in the AHL, so
Oh, there you go.
so it's a little different. I've lucked out. I got a good relationship with the NHL, so I haven't been screwed like you've seen some of these other teams. We had a little thing worked out in bidding. I picked up someone in bidding for them, but other than that, I haven't been screwed. They've actually helped a lot. So, it's a little different than, say, the CHL, where you don't have as much. Like, the CHL seems to me like it's more random luck than the AHL is as far as ownership goes. But, yeah, it's been fun so far, 3 weeks in.
All right. So, speaking about obviously being 3 weeks in, are you content with how your team's doing?
My team's doing all right. I am not. So, yeah, something's got to give there. I'm happy with how the team's doing. Second in the division right now. So, that's a plus. The other two lines are doing great. My line's doing shit. So, I got to work something out here. But as far as the team as a whole.
Shout out to Painter. Diesels only.
Yeah, shout out to Painter.
Don't you have a Flyers hockey on the team?
Yeah, Flyers hockey's there. He's been playing pretty well.
Anytime you want to get back to the ball, we'll take him.
Yeah,
thanks, Super Saiyan.
You guys have been begging me for Flyers back since the moment the trade went down.
Let's just say we didn't know the trade was coming until after the trade went through.
Let's just say that's karma for Provorov scumbagging me for AGM.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
I don't think anything's going to get worked out there.
We're scoring. So we're doing okay.
So third lines for Raiders is what I'm understanding here.
Yes, please.
All right,
I would gladly take all your third lines.
Alright, so now obviously you've been around in LG for quite a while, but you're a new GM, obviously in the AHL, as you just said. What's your relationship like with some of the other GMs in the league?
Believe it or not, I know a lot of the guys from the CHL, like Gio over in Wilkes-Barre. I know Zaka, who doesn't? So, there's not... I know a lot of the people, and I don't have a lot of bad relationships, except for maybe Provorov, because he scumbagged me. But there's definitely people that I don't like dealing with. Trading with some of these GMs is just... It's more of a headache than it's actually worth. So, it's getting used to everybody's trade personality, I think, is the hard part when you first start.
Who's got the worst trade personality?
The worst trade personality has to be Gilbsy. Hands down, I don't care. I'll put it out there. I'll name names.
Jeez.
Ask for a guy on TC, and he's like, yeah, how about like a second round pick? No. Why?
Fair enough. Now, a completely unrelated question to managing and playing the AHL, but kind of at the same time. You're obviously part of the CHL Doghouse team. Have you had trouble keeping track throughout the seasons? Because I know you played in the NHL and now you're in the AHL, of keeping track of the CHL stuff.
No, actually, I run the development team too. So with the TC players down in the CHL, so that keeps me kind of tuned in. Plus, people knowing that I do the Doghouse and stuff like that, you'd be surprised how many people just come to me with stuff. Yeah. Like, hey, did you see this? Yo, check out this PM. Here's a screenshot from the management chat. You should talk about this. So it's actually been pretty easy to kind of get information and news on stuff. And once people know that you're doing this stuff, and Kingsman, I know you probably get it too. It's like, here's these screenshots. This guy said this. You'll never believe what happened here. And so it makes it pretty easy when the community's helping you out.
Yeah, exactly. When I was management banned in season 26 from the AHL roast, I was getting a bunch of that, and now this season I'm not allowed to be management from.
You're welcome, Buck.
One of my actions that I did last season, at the end of the season, I have no management listed for this season, and there's still, I get management chat screenshots be like, yo, there's this drama going on, that drama, or there's this drama going on in the chat box, go check it out, and here's some more stuff for Risto, and
yeah, exactly. So it's pretty easy to stay on top of once people know that you're actually going to talk about something. I think people get joy out of being the ones who brought you a story.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our next interview. We have another guest star here. We have Darcy Camper. I'm pretty sure he's in a league game right now.
X1HL, just killing it, 8-1.
Oh, there you go. So you don't even need to be playing. I do like your controller. What's with the tape on the back?
Oh, you know, actually, I put the tape on the back just so sometimes my batteries don't fall out. Like maybe it might be in a Game 7 game, and it might be on the line. He might give up that game-winning goal to not win a cup. So that's exactly why I got it on the back there.
Are you referring to anybody in specific with that comment there?
No. I mean, I just think that it might happen to somebody, and I hope it never does. But if it ever happened to somebody, it's probably kind of dumb to not put tape on the back of his controller.
Oh, okay, fair enough. As a goalie, I think it's important to make sure your controller batteries don't fall out. So,
is there?
Just interesting logic there. So what's it like playing in the Central Division? I know you've always played on teams like Lehigh Valley and stuff like that in the past. So what's it like playing in the West?
You know, I don't think it's any different at all, honestly. I mean, because I guess in week 3, like you play your same division 3 times?
Yes,
I mean, I've only played them once, so I haven't really gotten the feel of my own division yet because we're playing every single division so far. So honestly, but the teams are decent in my league, I'd say. Manitoba, I haven't been able to play them yet, but I really want to. I keep telling Luke to put me in those big games.
You did play Manitoba because you had that game against Zero Crash.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did play Manitoba. Yeah, see, that was a good game.
That's a 1-0 overtime game.
Yeah, it ended up. Yeah, see, what happened was, I think it was BND Gaming. It was BND Gaming or Bubba Kush. No, Mind Trip. It was Mind Trip. There was a breakaway. We ended up losing 1-0. There was a breakaway, and I do a slide tackle. Totally saved it, but Mind Trip trips the kid. The kid scores on the penalty shot. Just absolute terrible way to lose. But yeah, Manitoba's good. They're definitely gonna be up there in the race.
Fair enough. So what's the team relationship like then in your group chat, your locker room? What's that like?
Oh my God, these boys, they're pretty crazy. They're fun. It's like honestly, if you've ever played hockey, you got a beer league game going, you're playing with all your buddies back home. You're sitting in the locker room just talking trash, saying a bunch of crap that you can't really say in the chat box or anything. But that's how those guys roll. They're a great group of guys, but apparently might be a little ties getting shifted around here, so I hope not. But I'd say this is the best team I've ever been on. But besides being with Horvat is the greatest player ever. But I'd say hands down, Cleveland's best team I've ever been on. These guys are fun.
Speaking of Horvat, Gramers, do you still have a slice of Domino's for him?
Yeah, I ordered Domino's somewhere around here in the spirit of Dudley. Once I heard he wasn't going to be here, I figured I'd eat his pre-show meal for him.
Shout out to Horvat and the Domino's. Last question for you, Darcy. How do you feel playing under Vatty?
I haven't actually been able to talk to him a lot. I know that there's been a little feud between our NHL and AHL management. Today it started, actually, maybe yesterday. But I don't know. I like I said, I haven't really been able to talk to him at all. I love Mike, his AGM or GM, whatever it is. But
Bishop.
But yeah, Vatty, being on Vatty's team, Mexican Ninja gave me like a little idea I wanted to make a thread or something. And Mexican Ninja decided, he's like, hey, yeah, you know what you should do? You should make a thread about the AHL teams that are better than the NHL teams. And first of all, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have put Cleveland up there. And now we're just like, yeah, no. I haven't had a chance to talk to Vatty a lot, but
have you gotten a chance to ECU for the big club?
Yeah, I did. We actually put up a big dub. So.
Oh, lucky.
Vatty must not have been playing then.
He was not playing. It was Mike.
There we go. All right. So that's our 2 interviews with our guest stars. Moving on, we have my segment, my defensive segment from The Point, coming from a guy who's terrible at defense. I shouldn't be doing a segment on defense, but defense is really good shout-out, so this is my shout-out to you guys. So weekly point machine for most amount of points this week goes up to PD Mac from Stockton. He had 9 points this week. Our top goal scorer of the week, we had a tie between Nuge from Lehigh Valley and PD Mac again from Stockton. Both of them had 3 goals. We also had a tie for the most assists this week. We had PD Mac again from Stockton and I believe X from Chicago. Both had 6 assists. Sorry, Darcy's distracting me walking around and getting his beers. For the best plus minus in the AHL for this week, we have the D pair from Rochester, the Steelers and Caustic with a plus 10. Your worst plus minus in the AHL comes from your very own Kingsman 42 from Toronto. Minus 10 this week. He was in a walloping against Laval and a very big walloping against Rochester. That's why the Steelers and Caustic are a plus 10 and I'm a minus 10. Just 11 to 3. They got a nice big plus 8 in that game. Moving on, we have a new hits champion this week. It is no longer Costa from Hartford. He came second this week. KJM 007 from Utica had 25 hits. Most takeaways this week, it's ex-Utica comment, Sore Messiah from Rockford, had 17 takeaways. Most giveaways this week was D-Tech Stealth from Iowa. He had 32 giveaways. So it's nice to see some new names on the board. I've noticed a pattern where a lot of the point machines get also the same amount of lead in goals and assists, which is normal because they had the most points and goals and assists. But otherwise, it's nice to see a couple other names out there with tying them, and then new plus-minus leaders, hits leaders every week. It's great, especially on defense, because seeing guys all the time, you know they're just that good. But it shows that there's a little bit more diversity here in the AHL. Moving on, we do have the Dudley Top 10 segment. I've been having trouble contacting Dudley today. Just give me a second. I'm going to give him a call.
Oh, crap! Oh. Hello?
Yo, Dudley.
Oh. Fuck, why do you have to wake me up, man? Come on.
Wake up, you moron. Don't you have a top 10 for us?
Yeah, I got a damn top 10. I'm sorry. Gosh. Wait, were we supposed to take... Oh. Okay, yeah, I got the top 10. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay. Alright. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Oh. Hi, everybody. As you can see, I sit here and I have this damn camera with me as soon as I walk into my office. And as you can tell, I'm ready to go. Oh, gosh. I am terrible. Okay, so here is tonight's top 10 list. I couldn't make it to the taping, unfortunately, because I'm so busy with, you know, stuff and then work. Okay, so this is top 10 things you didn't know that happened in the AHL this past week. So it's top 10 things that you didn't know that happened in the AHL this week, right here in my hand. If I didn't have this actual top 10, would I not be able to do this? Okay, here we go. Number 10. I watched LG Doghouse and found out that they are the cure for narcolepsy. Number 9. Huddy is lurking around the AHL chat box waiting to yell at someone. Number 8. Buck snuck onto a roster and still hasn't been sent down yet. Number 7. Tatar got a shutout because Faces threatened him with a lifetime ban from Brody. Game changers! Number 6. You do well on Bakersfield? Means you don't get a call-up from Snoopy. That's my team. Help us. Number 5. Malcheski quit because Salty Sailor made fun of his man parts. Number 4. Risto doesn't show his face on Overdrive because he got lost in a supermarket and for some reason can't find his way out. Number 3. UT is a really good goalie, but when he comes on to record Overdrive, he's recording it with a potato. Can't hear what he says for some reason. Number 2. Down Syndrome Dave has more hair than my dog. And the number 1 thing that happened in the AHL this week that you didn't know about. Everyone knew Denki got traded, but we don't know that he will drown his sorrows away with Noxzema. Might want to get those bifocals checked out, Denki. GG. Good job for losing to us last week. Alright, Buck. Back to you.
All right, now we're going to send it over to UT for Keepers of the Crease.
All right, boys, this is Keepers of the Crease. We're going to start off, as always, with our top Guardians. I know everybody's favorite for our number one is from Stockton. It's Grandpa Puff 420. Posted a 3-2 record this week with a .935 save percentage and an impressive .75 goals against average. Posting 2 shutouts against Rockford and Ontario.
I guess his batteries didn't fall out.
I guess. He saves it for the big game. So, next one is from Utica. Tatar21 posted a 4-1 with a .917 save percentage with a .58 goals against average and 3 shutouts. The 3 shutouts were against the Charlotte, the Wolfpack, and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. He did only have 36 shots, so I do have to credit Mackey's defense for the week, keeping him down to only 36 shots in 5 games. So, going on to our next top Guardian, it's from Providence. It's Arya Saki, went 5-1 with a .893 save percentage and 1.28 goals against, 1 shutout against Utica. So that's a hard team to shut out. Anytime you get shut out, it's a good day. We'll go to our honorable mentions for our top Guardians. From Laval, it's your very own UT75035, posting a 5-1 week with a .867 save percentage, 1.66 goals against, and 2 shutouts for the week. We'll go on to our next honorable mention is no other than Darcy Kemper. Had a 3-3 week, .847 save percentage with 1.50 goals against, posting an impressive 3 shutouts for the week. On to our last one is Jonas Peterson. He had a 5-1 week with a .855 save percentage, also a 1.50 goals against average, and 1 shutout. So now we're going on everybody's favorite part. It's not too late to retire. These are the guys that had the worst stats for the week. Coming in on number 1 is a guy that was actually in one of our tops last week. He's either on commissioner or one of the tops. It's from San Antonio, Avalanche fan 133, posting a 2-2 record and a .646 save percentage with 4.14 goals against average. So it was a rough week for him. Number 2 from Syracuse on our It's Never Too Late to Retire is Go Heels 2. He went 1-2 with a .677 save percentage and 3.70 goals against average. On to our last one is everybody's favorite, Zeep Blindsey from
Tucson.
Good old Tucson. Everybody loves Tucson. You don't hear much from them anymore.
Started losing.
Yeah. He posted a 3-3 record with a .690 save percentage and a 3.00 goals against average. So guys that you were seeing in the top, in the top 10 are now on the way to the bottom for the next week. Like it shows, it all depends on who you have in your week. You can have real easy teams, you can have real bad teams. You never know what's going to happen. So that is Keepers of the Crease. Appreciate it.
All right. So the last thing we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about a couple surprises in the standings. We're already third down of the season. Like we've gone through 3 weeks. We're going into week 4. So obviously there's some teams that are surprising in the standings. There's some teams that aren't surprising, but a couple that are surprising. A team we talked about a little bit in week 1 there, Syracuse, who we thought would be a powerhouse team, is currently sitting last in the North Division. Give me a second. Darcy, you're killing me over here with your noise. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, so Syracuse is currently sitting last there in the North Division. We did think they would be a powerhouse team. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I don't know. You two?
Sorry, I still getting Darcy's noise for a second.
It is odd to see them doing so poorly. I thought for sure with Meese running that team at the beginning of the season, I thought it was just like everybody else. I thought it was going to be a really good team, but I guess things just aren't meshing well for them, or whatever the case may be. But they got to figure something out in there because you don't want to be that awful. That's like a whole new level of bad.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. It's I think it comes from the back end. I don't think their defense is playing well. They're not helping them away down. Like I said, we have Go Heels that's averaging 3 goals. So that's just his average for the week. So you never know exactly what is going on there. But I want to say that forwards aren't back checking and defense aren't covering those points, which they're supposed to. covering their guys are supposed to. So.
Well, yeah, like the team that they built with Nees, it was a lot of buddies who play together, lots of chemistry, but they're at the bottom. In a game like this, where you need a lot of chemistry and a lot of buddies that do play together, when you look at guys like Breezy and Lorenzo, you look at guys like Fourth Line and Scumbag Jared, you look at Mackie and Brody, like they're all guys that play together all the time. Like these guys always played together, but they just can't do it this season, and it's strange to see them doing so badly.
Curse of Bossy. His AHL team was trash last season too, wasn't it? So
yeah, it's not like Bossy's a terrible owner or GM in the end or anything.
Honestly, hey, I've been in the AHL under 3 different kinds of NHL management, and Bossy was my first time when I was my AGM for the first time ever with Horvat. He was the most understandable guy that I've ever actually played with, and he didn't like screw over our team at all. But then I had Yargage and Batty, so yeah, Bossy's a stand-up guy, I'll tell you.
if you have to compare him to Yargage and Batty.
Well, I mean, yeah.
All right. Next team I do have is the Charlotte Checkers. They're currently tied for first in the Atlantic with Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and Providence is up there too. Nobody thought that Jay Yeti's team would be a contender. Do you guys think that's going to be a thing to last, or are they just pretending to be good right now and they're going to fall out?
Yeah, I'm calling pretender on this one. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. Do I think they have a serious shot? No, but I'm calling weak division on this one. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Fair enough.
I mean, they got Jonas Peterson, obviously, who's a great goalie, and Blue Jays, of course, the chat box hero. But I mean, there's a lot of guys in there that are kind of no names, but I guess if they keep this up, they could be running for glory here.
Yeah, like as you said, Jonas Peterson there. We knew he was somewhat good because he played last season on Manitoba behind the fourth line team. That team was insane. Charlotte isn't that good compared to fourth line's team, and now he's proving that he's a top tier goalie in the AHL.
Yeah, definitely. Like you thought, like, oh, you got the best defense in the league that this league has ever seen, but yeah, he's actually killing it.
The guy broke records last season for most shutouts in the league. Like he killed it last season, regardless of the team in front of him. Yes, they helped, but he's still killing it on Charlotte. So
there were complaints though coming out of Charlotte about the NHL ownership screwing with stuff. So something to keep an eye on going forward.
I mean, it is Like a Boss, so Like a Boss is a very iffy owner, apparently. He did a lot of their bidding for them, too, so maybe it's a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I know that Blue Jays getting sent down, I think it's a skill, for sure.
Yeah. Next one is, we knew it was going to happen. We knew one division in the West was going to be insanely stacked. The other one was going to be one of the worst in the league. Central, terrible division. Pacific, strongest in the league. If you look at the Pacific, there's like 2 points, 1 point, fighting first and fourth. And then Pacific, there's just a fall off of teams after like the first 3. Thoughts on that with the 2 Western divisions?
Well, I'm glad that I was originally on Milwaukee this year, but we had a roster swap, so I kind of appreciate the roster swap now. Moving over to Laval, moving over to the East, better chance to make playoffs. Getting out of the Manitoba side. I already had enough of Manitoba last season when I played them with the Milwaukee lovely defense and forwards I had from last year. So,
I will say that with the Central Division, it's actually surprising because looking at it pre-bidding, I thought it was going to be one of the stronger divisions. With I thought Milwaukee was going to be good. Cleveland, I thought, was going to be better than where they're at right now, and I even thought Chicago was going to do better than they're actually doing. But I think it's come out as one of the weakest divisions, just solely based on teams not performing up to expectations, really.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's always been a thing in the AHL, that one division is always a lot more stacked, and then the others just don't perform up to the expectations.
Right.
But this season, it seems to be, and we already knew it was going in that the Pacific was going to be the division that was toughest to play in, and they're proving it. Like, if you look right now, I believe it's still Stockton, San Jose, Tucson, and I don't even remember the other team. But
right, it's 38. It's 38 for the Barracuda, 37 points for the Ontario, 36 for the 36 for the Heat, and then you drop 4 points for the Gold for 32.
Yeah, that division's insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, back to the Central, even Manitoba is not running away with it like people had expected.
I mean, you guys are what, 5 points behind it?
Yeah, just 5 points.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's definitely weird, and a lot of teams not performing like they should be.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's good for the teams that want to stay quiet, like possibly Grand Rapids, who have a chance to make playoffs. Chicago isn't making a lot of noise, but they're still there. Obviously, when it comes to playoff time, you want to be a contender, but it's good that they're staying quiet for now.
Right.
So, otherwise, we're a third of the way through the season. I believe a couple guys wanted to do a few, possibly 1/3 of the way awards races. I think Gio from Wilkes-Barre was planning on doing something with that. What are you guys thinking about awards? Obviously, it's a third of the way through. Do you guys think it's too early to start a thread like that, or is it never too early?
No, do it. Definitely do it. Get these guys' egos up so they fall down. And then get these guys' egos that are down, that didn't get mentioned, to go up. I always love it because, I mean, even like NHL and crap like that, they got all these, like, I mean, Lonzo Ball, let's put that in perspective. He's got all this media hype. He's doing terrible. I want to see some people do terrible and some people rise up to the top. King of Nye, you're already at the top. You're gonna stay at the top.
Yeah, he's doing.
King and I is killing it again this season.
This week he kind of tapered off from his high save percentage, but he's still somewhere in for this week. So he's still staying up there.
I'm all for anything that's going to get people bitching and talking. So go ahead and hand out third of the way awards, and I just want to sit back and watch the chat box just be in flames over everybody bitching about who got what and how that's ridiculous.
That's when you get your screenshots ready. Get your screenshot it if you have the app. You can get it real quick.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I didn't have much else for tonight. Does anybody have a shout out real quick before we head off?
I got one. Shout out to lazy kids in Georgia being the worst general manager in the history of the world.
Wow, my GM.
Yeah, he goes and trades dude. It's Devin, who is probably his best defenseman. No offense to you, King, but gets a guy and then flips him for 3 TCs, and then didn't even realize that what everybody else realized, and the reason why no one else traded for the guy, Lady Redbush, can't be called up because apparently his random assigned veteran status carries over from last season. So he traded B&D Gaming for three TC players he'll never be able to really use.
And after playing you guys, but after playing you like we did this week, you guys need solid D. You need solid D. Even he says that he's Swiss cheese right now. Everything.
Lazy is, I can say, bad this season. Like, it's getting to the point where he's putting up numbers like that looked like mine last season, and that's not a good thing.
He almost made my bottom again, but I gave him a break this week.
I was in the group me for the Gulls last season, which was a lazy ran team, so I kind of knew it then, and I had a suspicion the season before. I think he helped run Chicago with everybody's favorite 10-year-old Falcon Flame. And I had this suspicion that Lazy wasn't the real deal, and he was kind of just getting the credit for other people's stuff, and I think this season he's kind of starting to prove it, so it's making me happy.
What's bugging me a little bit here is that after last night's games, I knew I was probably on the move out of Toronto because I didn't survive even till the end of game time in the group chat. So you can see me possibly being down and doing LCHL Overdrive starting next week, probably.
First person to offer him 3 TCs he can't use, they'll get you. So
I don't know, man.
let the bidding begin.
Nobody wants to worst team out of the AHL.
I got 4 shout-outs here for some guys.
Okay, go ahead, Salty.
Just easy enough. Number 1, Eldo is trash.
Boom.
2, Canada's a cockroach.
Boom.
3, Mackey's a snake. And 4, Luke is an emo.
Wow.
Nothing for our good old friend Cheapa Puff?
I don't know who that is. Hey, Google me. Darcy Kemper.
But I'll get a video and like photos of some guy that plays on Arizona. You play on Cleveland. Oh well.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Said if I Google you, I'll get some guy from Arizona that's a backup goalie, not some guy in Cleveland.
I got a doppelganger. We got the same name.
Alright. UT, anything for you, buddy?
No, just don't sleep on the ball.
Don't
Coming.
sleep.
Don't sleep on the ball.
Alright. And final shout out to Dan Hutton for requesting a trade literally seconds after it went through. You the real MVP. Keep orchestrating your own trades in the AHL, bud.
You do your boo-boo.
Oh wait, one more thing. Before we leave here, I just want to say there's one person who's been silently trying to get at me or something, or just he's been so pissed off. But ever since I made that Bastion award thread last season, I never had this goalie as one of the top 8, and he feels like he should be. This is where I think he's just super triggered and just butthurt. But POTUS, keep rating all of my posts, get good, and do all that stuff. Keep doing it.
I haven't heard much from him lately. He's been up there in the top goalies for the week. So.
He's doing good now. He's proving his name. Maybe he'll be top 8. Maybe not. Give him a shout out. He might go down.
Alright, well, without further ado, thank you guys for listening to episode 3 of season 4, and we will catch you guys next week for episode 4.
Outlet up the middle to Pavel Murray.